water. Hello, Rosie. Look at you. Hi, Bubby. She's right there. There. Hi, baby. Come here. Come here, honey. Paws up. Give me. You put them up. Hi. Hi, baby. Hello, welcome back to the With Anxiety podcast. My name is Marissa. Anxiety's not high. Stress is a little high right now, but we'll get into that in a bit. Got some finished objects, whips, future cast-ons, a lot of acquisitions because there was a festival this month and I'm just going bonkers this month. Graham's in and out, not so great. We'll get into that in a bit. A bit of a weight update and just some anxiety, stress stuff at the end. I am drinking apple cinnamon walnut tea. Do not spill. Oh my god. This is a brand new mug, which we will get into in a bit. One moment, please. But we'll talk about the mug in a little bit. But I am drinking apple cinnamon walnut black tea from Plum Deluxe Teas. They will be linked down below. I'm not a sponsor. They are not a sponsor. I'm not affiliate for them. I just really love their tea and they're local to me. Their loose leaf tea is fantastic. So. It's the bear months, my friends. It's time for all the hot, cozy drinks. Oh my god, it's so tasty. Okay. And don't worry, I also have my water. And Rosie is also here to be a victim in her mind. She thinks she's a victim. She's here to hang out, be a podcast puppy, but also model something later. We'll get into that in just a few minutes here. Please be sure to like and subscribe, leave me a comment. I love to know where all of you guys are from. I love that I'm reaching people like in the UK and whatnot. That's super cool as my little West Coast American self. And thank you everyone who's commented and subscribed so far. I really appreciate it. That's obviously not the whole point of this. The whole point of this podcast is just to be like a little journal for myself about my knitting journey and the weight loss and anxiety and how far I've come with all that stuff. So the fact that anyone even enjoys it makes my heart very happy. So with all that, I think that's the whole spiel. Let's get started, friends. Let's get into the yardy stuff because there's a lot of it. Okay, so start off with the FOs. Starting with the FOs, the very first one I've got. Let's see if it'll even unruffle itself. I made another dice bag with a little drawstring, an I-cord drawstring. This actually didn't take me too long. I'm one of those weirdos. I don't hate making I-cord. I love I-cord. I think it's beautiful. A beautiful edge to everything. Like, if I can replace every edging with I-cord, I will. That's how much I like I-cord. I would rather have a clean I-cord edge. You just tuck all those ends in, like knit the I-cord over ends and just not have to reeve anything in, is how I operate. But yeah, I made another lay flat dice bag, this time out of a DK weight, and it definitely has a bit more structure to it. So you can see it kind of stands up a bit more this time, which is fantastic. It's kind of hard to show you guys like how it actually really works without like using my other hand to kind of point things out. But essentially it's like it's a big circle, and the pattern will be linked down below. Like, I did totally forgot to say that. All of the links to everything, yarn shops, bag shops if I can remember them, and patterns will all be down in the description. Everything is in the description because I'm a psychopath and overlink things. Not actually a psychopath, I'm just being facetious. I think I used that word correctly. I hope so. Husband, tell me, did I use it right? But, oh my goodness, why? This is the one problem with the bag, is that when I'm trying to just hold it, it doesn't want to do the thing. It doesn't want to stay in rollable bag mode. So this is kind of like what I'm thinking. Like I haven't even blocked it yet. Like I know I need to wash and block it first. I did do this extra thing where I put a pearl row into it in hopes that it would help kind of develop like a directional change when I lay it out. But I don't think that's going to work very well just because the pearl row is not low enough to where it actually wants to do the turn when I have it tightened up. But we shall see. It does kind of look like a brain on top, or a scrubby, which is kind of funny. I'll bring that up close so you can see how colorful that yarn is, and hopefully, there we go. I'll focus on the bag and the yarn and not on my face if I hide behind it. So that color is Woolen Vinyl's Hard Rock DK in the color Monster Mash, and I've had this skein in my stash since, I don't even know, I want to say like 2020, something like that. I think I vaguely recall this being one of those skeins I got around the time when I went to Stitches. I don't think I got it at Stitches, but I'd have to look through the things and find out. Yeah, but that's the Lay Flat Dice Bag by C.B. Williams, and I did that on a US 6 or 4 millimeter needle. If you are a dice goblin, or if you are a beginner dice goblin, I'm a beginner dice goblin. I have 2 or 3 sets of dice now and a character, and hopefully soon we'll get to enter my first campaign in D&D. That's what I'm talking about if you don't know, D&D. Never done that before, so we shall see. But yeah, I'm hoping to use this as my roll mat and dice transport. But I'll have to see how it works out logistically. Okay. Okay, and then FO number 2. You can tell from the tinkling. Can you tell what it is from the tinkling? I finished another pair of socks. I finished another pair of Felici socks. So this, and there's probably dog hair all over them because nothing is safe from dog hair in my house. Rosie is everywhere. So these are my Sanderson socks with a contrast heel. When I do my socks, I do 15 rows of 2x2 rib, 40, I think it's 35 to 40 rows in the leg, the slip stitch heel with 2 extra repeats for added instep depth, and then I do my gusset, and I do the gusset all the way down to 60. I cast on 64 stitches, 15 rows of 2x2, 40 rows for the leg, heel flap, slip stitch heel flap with 2 extra repeats, and then I do the gusset down to 64 stitches again, and then do another 30 to 40 rows depending on the yarn thickness, and then I do an anatomical toe. I do not do a standard wedge toe because I hate a standard wedge. It doesn't fit my foot very well, but the anatomical is fabulous. So those are, I call them my Franken socks because it's a mixture of the Crazy Socks Ladies, Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop, and the toe is from the Plant Parent by Emily O'Brien. Those are, and then I kind of futz with them from there. But essentially, that's what they are. And the color, I already said, the main color is Knit Picks Felici in the color Sanderson, and then the heel is a random mini I got in an order from Baby Cat Yarns, and I believe it's the color Pea Soup on her 80/20 2-ply base. It is a different, like the ply and fiber content is different than this, but I really don't care. That doesn't bother me. So I will mix my fiber contents. I don't care. And then I completed another Sugar Plum Cowl by Michelle Krause. And this is in the colorway Camaleon by Malabrigo on their Rios base. and I did this with a US 9 or 5.5 millimeter needle. Oh, my socks were on a US 1 or 2.25 millimeter needle. Totally forgot that part. My apologies. But yeah, so another sugar plum cowl, just your basic, like 1.5 to 2 inches of ribbing, knit and weigh your ball before and after the initial ribbing, then knit until you have that much left, and then you do the ribbing and bind off. Super, super simple, but oh my god, this color turned out great. This color is beautiful. This was like the, like last episode's Sugar Plum Cowl. This was a yarn that had been in my stash forever. I think I actually at one point made this into a different project and frogged it because I never wore it. In retrospect, this in a cabled hat was a bad idea. You couldn't see the cables. It was lost. So, I'm really glad I was able to make it into something. I don't know if I personally will wear it. I think it's beautiful, but I will likely put this into my giftables, like my gift donate pile that I've got, and majority of the cowls I'm doing this year are going in that pile. So, I think that is a good spot for that. Yeah, that is my sugar plum cowl number 2 for the year. And then the next FO, I'm going to show you without the model, and then we'll put on the model. I made Rosie a little sweater. So this is the Marled Pup Sweater by Stephen West. And I did the main color I did is Laser Sheep Yarns Superwash DK in the color I Dump Your Ass. That I did get at Switch Stitches 2020. It was like her show color. Supposed to be a reference to the latest season of, oh my god, Stranger Things. Like the mall scene. You guys, if you've watched Stranger Things, you know the mall scene where Elle tells what's his face to, she says, I dump your ass, and that colorful as fuck shirt she's wearing. That's kind of what this color is supposed to be after, is that super colorful shirt. And then the contrast for all of the little edges is in Loops and Threads Cozy Wool, which is their DK wool yarn in the color magenta. And I did this with a US 8 or 5 millimeter needle. So that's the sweater by itself. Rosie, come here. Come here. I know you hate it. I know. Come here. Please. I just need you for a little bit. Just a little bit. She hates it so much. She's not a sweater dog. She's really not. She is shaking profusely already. Okay. Here we are. My little model. So this is how, Rosie, can you stay still, please? Probably not. She's gonna lose her marbles the whole time I'm holding her. She's not gonna like this. It's okay. Hey, you're fine. Oh my goodness. Go on. Go on. On the shoulder you go. There we go. Okay. There we go. So yeah, so it fits her perfectly. I customized it quite a bit. She, being the Italian Greyhound Chihuahua mix that she is, has a really, really sharp chest. So I had to do a whole bunch of size adjustments. Like, I think when I cast it on for like the smallest size and had to increase it to the second smallest or something, and then increase it further after doing the sleeve split because her chest, like the front of her chest is so short, so I had to do the sleeves and then continue increasing to the third size and then decrease it to like the back down to the smallest, but it fits her really good. I'll put in a picture over here or whatever of her wearing it. It's also my Ravelry, but you hate it, don't you? I know you hate it. I'm sorry. She really does not like wearing sweaters, but we are going on vacation soon. She's coming with us. It's gonna be really cold. So I figured she definitely needed something. Okay. Easy girl. We'll take it off now. We'll take it off. It's okay. We'll take it off. There you go. Okay. Now that I'm done torturing her. I know in her mind she thinks I'm evil. But yeah, that is the Marled Pup Sweater, and it is all over seed stitch. The actual construction of this and the placement of the increases is quite clever. So if you have a dog that you would like to make a sweater for, I highly recommend this pattern. Like, it was actually pretty easy to follow, and it worked up really fast. And now onto the final whip, or final FO. More socks. Per the plan, my plan is to make 2 pairs of socks minimum every month. 1 stripy, 1 not so stripy, so I can work through the variegated and whatnot yarns, but also get through the stripies because the stripies make me happy. These are knit the exact same way as the other ones. So US 1, 2.25, 64 stitches, 15 rows of rib, 40 rows in the leg, 2 extra repeats in the flap, the gusset down to 64 again, 35, 40 rows or whatever, and then anatomical toe. So this main color is the Laines de Nord paint gradient sock in the color number 11. They don't have names for their colors, which is weird, but so I did that, and then I did the well, not really contrast, the solid heel in Patons Kroy in the color Plum. And I did that because I really wanted to make sure that it was going to be a really sturdy heel, because Patons is a more rustic yarn and has a bit more toothiness to it, so I'm not worried about like working through these. And this yarn, the main color yarn, is supposed to be kind of a gradient. It's most like, I had to remove 9 grams from the start of each ball in order to mildly like get the sock centered, because I'm a large woman. I have large calves. I cannot do a full length freaking sock like as long as this yarn is intended to be done with. So I wanted to get the sock as centered as possible on the gradient, and it's like the gradient is so slow, you don't get to anything dark until you're almost done. So I know I also have the same kind of skein but in a blue. I think when I do that one, I might remove like 20 grams from the start of the ball, so that I can actually like get those deep colors, because that's what I want. I want the deep colors. So I think I might remove some more from the lighter end to try and eat up so I can actually get the darker colors. Overall though, it's really pretty. That yarn was wonderful to work with. Very thin, like on the thinner, lighter side of fingering weight, but it was really pleasant to work with. So yeah, those are my 2 at a time on 2. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to say this. Not only do I use a US 1 or 2.25 millimeter needle, I also do my socks 2 at a time on 2 circulars. I have 2 20 or 24 inch Chiaogu circulars, and I literally split everything on the 2 as if you're doing magic loop. It's just you have 2 needles and you just move them. If you want to know how to do 2 at a time like that, you can, on 2 circs, you can go look it up. That's how I knit my socks. And I think yeah, I knit my socks 2 at a time on 2 circulars, and I use the magic loop method to do my heels, my heel flap. So like I'll have the 2 on the 2 circulars, and then I'll actually remove one onto a magic loop, onto like a 30-inch cable or 30-inch circular needle, and use the magic loop technique to do my flap and the gusset. And then once that is done on both, I put them back onto the 2 circulars and continue the foot and the toe, and then bind it off and it's done. I also recently, on this pair and the prior pair, have been employing the weave and Steven method for weaving in the ends on my flap, so that I don't have to freaking weave them in, and it's fabulous. And I apply that technique everywhere I possibly can. Stephen West does have a video for that, and I'll try and remember to link it. It's a wonderful technique. It really is. It makes life so much easier. But yeah, so that's sock pair number 2, and that is the end of FOs. Okay, on to whips. I only have 3. I have 3 whips at the moment, which is quite low for me. The first one being, the first and oldest being the blanket for my husband. I have made more squares. So last time I had finished 4 squares. I finished another one, 2, 3, and 4. And I've already started another one. So those 4 makes 14 of 20 completed. I am hoping to get some more of them done when we are on vacation, maybe. I don't know if I want to bring this whole freaking bag, because it's a lot to bring. But we shall see. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It's, still a work in progress. For all the information, my lord, I cannot remember how to do this. So this is the Learn to Knit a Log Cabin Like It by Staci Perry, or Very Pink Knits. I'm doing everything out of Lion brand Pound of Love, and I'm doing it in the colors Oxford Gray, Black, Cadet, Chocolate, Denim, Blue, and Sleet. Chocolate will be the border around all of the squares, and around the whole blanket when I'm done. And I'm doing that on a US 8 or 5mm needle. And I expect the squares to each be about, I think when I checked everything, they'll be around 15 inches across both ways. It'll be about 15 inches, which is a really good size, and I'm doing it in a 4x5 pattern when it's done. And that'll be plenty big. I think it's going to end up being like 60 inches by 75 inches. Really big, perfect for my 5'10" big beefy man husband. So hoping to have that done by his birthday / Christmas, because his birthday is a couple days before Christmas. I'd love to have that done, because then I can end the year with a lot of grams out, because I know I'm gonna need it. I have a feeling I'm gonna need it. Whip number 2 is my Isa cardigan. I have not worked on this much in the last month. I think I worked on it a little bit after last episode. I only added a couple inches, like maybe 2.5 inches. This one has been kind of in like pseudo hibernation, because other things have been taking priority for me, like my socks and like getting like the next whip we're gonna talk about. So I just moved my marker. So this is the Isa cardigan by Aleksandra Solowianiuk. I think it's over here and linked below. I can't say her name. I'm sorry. I'm doing this out of Stylecraft Special DK in the color Wisteria. The ribbing and everything is on a US 7 or 4.5mm needle, and everything else is on a US 9 or a 5.5mm needle. It's pretty. I feel like I'm stalling out on it because it's a bit lighter or brighter than I'm used to. I think I mentioned it last time. I'm contemplating like doing RIT synthetic dye over it to kind of deepen the color a little bit, like throw it in a pot with gray or something for a bit, so that it kind of deepens the color, so it's not so bam in your face. But yeah, the pattern's nice. I am also doing, I think I mentioned this last time, I'm doing a little bit of modification where I'm adding a little bit extra length to the body and the arms, to increase the arm circumference and to give it a little more length so it hits where I want it to on my body. Whip number 3 is a bit of a pain in the butt. So you guys might recall I did my own rendition of the Habitation Throw blanket, right? And then I was also doing a like shawl version of that. In the last month, I ripped it out twice. I ripped it out the first time because I realized, because I have it in my head, I wanted to turn it into a wrap over, and I realized that how much I had cast on and all that, or how much I had done so far, was going to be too wide when it like hit the body. It was going to be too wide for it to be a wrap over. Like, it was going to be really, really long, like beyond, like past my waistline long, and I didn't want that. So I tore out a bit. And the other component was that there was a corner that was a different skein that was really jarring in terms of color sequence and everything. The color was just really off, and it was really bothering me. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just tear out the entire freaking thing. I don't even know how many hours of work it was. It really made my husband upset how many hours I undid. So I tore it all out, moved that freaking corner section that was really driving me crazy, redid it, got it to a spot where it was like almost half done. The wrap, the like shawl that's gonna be made into a wrap over, I was like over 50% done. And then I looked at it again and I was like, okay, there's another corner of color problems. Fantastic. And I also had this moment where I was like, this yarn is too deep and too busy to show the garter eyelets correctly the way I wanted to. Like it was just, it was too dark to show that texture and everything. So I tore it out again. And I found a new pattern, and I'm doing that now. So, and I apologize for the tinkling of the needles. This is gonna be probably hard, I guess. So this is the start of a Gatorine by Yannicka York Carter, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's linen stitch. It's a linen stitch shawl. It'll be over here. I saw it on, I think I was scrolling Instagram yesterday, like literally I did this yesterday. I was scrolling Instagram and I follow Expression Fiber Arts on Instagram, and it was it was Free Pattern Friday or whatever. So, and I saw that and I was like, that would work beautifully for the craziness and chaoticness that is this yarn. So I started to, and I had my US 6 needles with me when I tore it out. Like I was not even home when I tore out the other version and restarted it in this pattern. I was out and I had a US 6 on me, and I think I did another 2.5 hours worth of work on the new shawl, and I tore it out because it was too tight. My gauge, I'm a tight knitter, I should know better. If pattern says US 7, I need to go to an 8 or a 9 with how tight my gauge is. So after 2.5 hours more on the new pattern, I tore it out last night. I restarted it last night. I think I got maybe 45 minutes into it, which is what that is. And I actually remembered I need to move my marker. And my hope is that I can finish this in a week. Psycho. I want to finish it in a week and wear it for my anniversary dinner. Maybe. We shall see. So yeah, so that's the Gardine, I think. And it's picture over here and link below, Gardine by Yannicka York Carter. And that's yarn is the Sock Obsession Yarn Smooth Sock in the Doctor Who Cut the Ear Off color. I'm using in the US 8 or 5mm needle, 5mm needle now. I do not intend on changing that again. I'm not tearing it out. I've got a week to get this whole freaking shawl done, and that's a lot of yarn. So I'm not gonna be slowing down. That is gonna be my main focus for the next week. Like even the blanket squares are not getting touched. Okay. Next we're gonna talk about future cast-ons. So I've got my designated socky bag. That doesn't tell you what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you first of the month, 1st of November, the Felici colors for November will be the Country Roads color. I figured it's kind of autumnal, works for November because we're getting close to American Thanksgiving. And I know what contrast mini I'm going to do with these, but I can't show you yet because it's in the acquisitions segment. So I will point that out when I get to it. But yeah, so I'm going to do these for my Felici socks. Yeah, I don't know what I haven't spun the wheel. I don't know what non-stripy color I'm going to do next. But I anticipate that after I finish up the shawl, it's going to be sock. A lot of socks in November. I'm honestly hoping I can get like 4 pairs of socks done in November. I don't know yet. We will see. But number 1 will be these. This yarn will be going with me to my on vacation, so these will be done whilst on vacation. I know that for sure. And then one of the socks I will be doing is actually for my husband. I had him go through my stash and actually like find colors and textures that he likes, because he, being the neurospicy little dumpling that he is, has a lot of sensory issues. So if things don't physically feel right, he goes to a full toddler tantrum. Not exaggerating, that's how it is for a lot of us neurospicy folks, myself included. When things physically don't feel good, I lose my shit and start to fucking freak out. So I every time I'm gonna do anything like that for him, I want him to feel it. I want him to tell me if it's going to, texture wise, if it's gonna set him off. So I had him go through and he picked the Felici silent film for his next pair of socks. So this will likely be a pair for next month, hopefully. And he has yet to pick a contrast heel, because I don't want to use the full skein. I don't know if I've told you guys this. I'm saving up all of my self-striping yarns, my Felici, my Patons Kroy, any like indie dyers self-striping that I get. I'm saving them all, like as much of the ball as I possibly can, so I can make a blanket. Because I really, like, I am obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with the Felici scrap jelly roll blanket that Knit All the Yarn podcast is doing, like Lisa from Knit All the Yarn podcast is doing. She hasn't featured it in a little bit because summer was warm, but she has so many Felici scraps from all the Felici socks she's knit over the years. She's just doing this massive jelly roll, and it is so freaking pretty, and I want it really badly. I want one, so I'm just accumulating all of the stripy sock yarn and whatnot now. So hopefully, like, next year I might start that. I don't know yet. The whole concept of like you just like starting a scrap project and it just kind of is in perpetuity a whip and not gonna get finished in a set amount of time is something I am not familiar with. There's a reason I didn't do my first like scrap blanket until I had every color I possibly wanted to be put into it. Like, I accumulated a whole bunch of colors first and then did it, just because I am not the kind of person who typically does this is just a whip in perpetuity whip. I just have never done that. So it might be a bit of a challenge for me to do a in perpetuity stripy whip. We shall see. But anyway, so the Felici silent film for the husband. And there is other stuff from the festival that will also be for my husband and for other socks, and we will get into that in a bit. So that's the future cast-ons, and I'll point out which acquisitions are also future cast-ons in a bit. Okay. Now we've got our little tea break. We're now going to talk about the acquisitions. There are many acquisitions. Like I said, I went to a festival this month. I went to the we will talk about that after the non-festival acquisitions. I in the past month have acquired things both outside the festival and at the festival. But the big one from, I'm going to go over the non-festival stuff first. I got my hands on a new yarn, a new freaking commercial yarn, because I'm crazy. I don't know what it is with me, and like I go to Michael's and I find a new yarn and I'm just like, what is that? It's got wool in it. What is that thing? And I just have to have it. So I have 3 colors. So these are the Karen Macchiato cakes. I think these are being discontinued, so I think it's part of why I was like, I need it now. These are a bulky, so number 5 yarn. With my tight tension though, I can get it, it's more of like an Aran worsted for me because of how tight I knit. So I have 3 colors. I have one of this, 2 of this and 3 of this one. So this color is Breathe. This is Breathe. And I actually got this because I intend to use this for my Malin. So you guys might recall last month I was doing a fuck ton of swatching for the Malin sweater, picture over here. And I didn't matter what I pulled from my stash, it fucking sucked. Like everything sucked. My tension sucked. I think I spent a week straight doing nothing but swatching, and I don't do that. I do not do that much swatching. I just don't. And I was literally swatching for color and to figure out how in the fuck to do the slip stitches without my gauge being all screwy. I figured it out. Figured out what my problem was. It's because of how I hold my yarn. So I figured out I have to hold my yarn differently. In order to not get stupidly tight stitches. Like in order for my tension to actually be smooth and beautiful with slip stitch knitting, I have to, like, I'm a pinky wrapper. I can't wrap it on my pinky anymore. When I do this project, there is no pinky wrapping at all, which is going to be really hard because that is my tensioner. Like, it's going to have to just be between my pinky and ring finger and over my pointer finger. That's it. I won't be able to wrap it. I won't be able to tension it. Otherwise, it's going to be too tight. But so I found this and fell in love with the colors just because it's shades of blue and purple and gray and it's just beautiful. And I originally swatched it with the Lion Brand Wool Ease Oatmeal color. And I even tore apart or frogged a scarf that I was already planning on frogging anyway. And then I started looking at it and it's like, I actually don't have enough yarn, like enough yardage in that color. So I'm actually going to do this with the, I think it's Oxford Gray. The Wool Ease, dark gray is what I'm going to do this with. And this is kind of like a gradient, so it'll kind of gradient through the dark gray. Because I have enough of that, both in raw ball in a sweater. I have to take apart anyway because it's way too freaking big now, and in a scarf that I am tearing out anyway. So this with the dark gray will become my Malin at some point. Malin is number 1 on my queue at the moment, so hopefully that'll be a thing soon. And then at the same time I got that one, I got 2 of the Fading color because I think I'm gonna do this with the Karen Big Cake for my night shift wrap over poncho thing. Either something like I got 2 balls of this, so I have a little over 800 yards to work with to do the wrap over, and I wanted to do the wrap over. I wanted something with wool content really badly because I wanted it to be warm, instead of just like warm in that way that wool is warm without like making you sweat like hell, kind of warm, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna do this with the Karen Big Cake as the contrast. So this will be the main color, and then we'll have pops of the greens and blues and yellows and whatnot that'll pop through this, and I think that'll pop really good. Just a matter of when I get to it. And then I got 3 of this color, which is the color Boundless, because I want to make a sweater in this too. I haven't decided if I want to do a Felix and just let the color do its thing, or if I want to try and do like a cabled sweater or something like that. I haven't decided yet. Like I said, this is technically a weight 5, but with my tension, I can get it to be a 4 easily. So for me, on probably a pattern standard needle, this will be a 4. Like I can get this to the gauge of a 4. And it's I totally forgot to mention the mix is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. It's literally the same mix as the Woolies as Lion Brand Wool Ease, like worsted and thick and quick or whatever. It's 80-20. It's an 80-20 split. So It's probably one of the other reasons why I really liked it, because it's got some wool, but it's not all wool, so I can wash it in the machine if I want to. But yeah, I'm really excited. This is like the really pretty autumn color. I almost want to make this into a sweater first, so I have it to wear for the season, because it's so autumnal and just fall and warm and beautiful. I love it. Or it's not warm, but like it's cool tone fall, because I realized when I was looking at these yesterday, I am definitely more of a cool tone person, or I'm drawn to cool tones. So like you can put the same like autumn palette, but one is warm and one is cool. I'm always gonna go for the cool. I am not a warm tone person. Even though my complexion is like, my natural complexion is like that warm olive, my face is very pink. So my face is extremely pink. It's really annoying sometimes. So we shall see. But I really like this, and I very much like. I would love to make this into a cardigan and wear it for Christmas. I would love that so much. I love that. So yeah. So I spent so much time talking about this. Oh my god. Got 3 different colors, a total of 6 balls between those. And then I found a Karen cake in my colors. And it's kind of blowing it out at the moment, but there is like a purpley blue in here. This is the blueberry shortcake color, and just like the other one, this is an 80% acrylic, 20% wool. This is just the medium or worsted weight version. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I might actually no, I do know what I'm gonna do with this. I'm blanking on the name of the cowl, but there is a cowl version of the night shift shawl that Andrea Mowry did, and I was thinking I could do this with the Premier gray and white striped yarn that I bought to do the full size night shift. I think it's called Shifty, I think. But I figured this might be good for the cowl version, because it's not a whole lot of yardage. I think this is only 380 some yards. And then I could do with the gray and white stripe for that contrast. For the do that as the contrast for the Shifty cowl. So that way I'm still using that up, but then I also am getting something like the majority of it is that kind of wool base, that washable wool base. And this is 100% my colors. It's cool. It's blues. It's shades of blue with a little bit of purpley tint and teal. And can you tell I like it? Can you tell? And then the last thing I got from the big box store is some Patons Kroy sock yarn in the color gray brown marl. So it's brown, gray, and red, with a little bit of a marley shifty through it. I got 2 balls of that because I need 2 to make a pair of socks, and I intend to make these into a pair for my dad for Christmas. We will be seeing him for Thanksgiving. We will be at his place for Thanksgiving this year, so I'm planning to steal my husband's Patons Kroy socks and actually have my dad try those on and see if they fit him. If they do, then I can follow the same recipe I did for those and make my dad's socks the same way I make my husband's. I did this really smart thing recently. I saw my mom and I took a pair of my socks that I've recently made over to her place and had her try them on to see like what kind of size difference we're working with in terms of stitch counts and like instep and all that stuff. So I have a pretty good idea of how I can do socks for my mom with the heel flap, because that's like all I do now. That'll fit really good. So I'm looking forward to that. Lots of Christmas planning on the horizon. So that is all the commercial yarn. So then I went to the Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival in Albany, and bless my husband, he is the bestest, most supportive husband in the world. He did not stop me from buying anything. So this is not the bag it came in. This is just a Michael's bag I'm repurposing, but it is full. Majority of it is yarn. There are some non-yarny things, and I think I'm going to go over the non-yarny things first. This mug being one of them. So this is my hand-thrown and glazed sheep mug that is microwave and dishwasher safe. I've already run it through the dishwasher and it went fine. There's not a single bit of chipping or anything. It is fabulous. And I am unfortunately completely forgetting the maker, but everything I bought, I will be linking in the shop and the websites for those people below. I got freaking business cards from everybody, so I know exactly where to send you. But we are going to focus on the non-yarny stuff first, just so I can get those things out of the way. There's not all that many of them. My main focus was minis for contrast heels and just for mini stuff, and then I was also focusing on trying to find a yarn to make my mom's socks, and a yarn to make my husband's socks, because he did go through my stash and he pulled a skein originally from my birthday haul that I was like, no, you can't have that. You cannot have that. I know it feels good to you, but you can't have that. So I needed to find a yarn to make him some indie non-stripy socks with. But this mug is fucking huge. As you can see, it's literally the size of my hand. Look at the little sheepies. And I got to the festival like super early too, like I think within like half an hour of an opening, and I was literally like the first sale that this ceramicist freaking had, and they were so nice, and it was this couple, and all of their glazes were beautiful. They had yarn bowls too. Like if I wasn't so clumsy, I would 100% have gotten a yarn bowl. But they had like butter bells and all kinds of stuff, and like the purpley blue like hill like glaze is just so pretty. I love the glaze is what kind of drew me in. Like it's just so gorgeous. I did a little bit of ceramics in college, like when I did a couple of years of college. I loved it. Like I loved wheel throwing a lot, except I always had longer nails, and that was a problem with wheel throwing. But I think I glazed like one thing. I don't even know what the fuck happened to it. I don't think I ever picked it up after class, just because I was not happy with it. But like I have some semblance of an idea of what goes into this, and I appreciate the craftsmanship so much. Like it is beautiful. I love this mug. I think I looked at like 5 different freaking mugs, but I was like, I'm a mug collector. That's my thing. Like anytime we go on vacation somewhere, I typically bring home a mug and a magnet for the fridge. But I love this so much. And it's massive and holds so much tea. So much tea. It makes me so happy. But yeah, I will link the shop for them on below. And all of the other non-yarny stuff fits into this project bag I got. So this bag was from All Knit Up Designs, and it's knitting needles. Straight needles, but still, it's knitting needles. It's so cute. And then it's got a purple base. It's really big. I like zipper tops. I know I'm a weirdo, but I also don't overstuff my bags to the point where it's dangerous. So I want to take the things out so I can show you the inside. And the inside, the inside is all these freaking fun colors. Oh my god, it's like a patchy, like patchwork, quilty funness. It's wonderful. I love it. I think that's just the fabric. The fabric is just like that. It's not actually like patchwork, but it's so fun. And what's really funny is that I originally found like a smaller version of this bag, but I wanted a big bag because I realized when I was making my Christmas list that I don't have like any large project bags. I just don't. Like most of the bags I use for my big projects are like reusable bags you get from special stores. Like the one I use for my husband's blanket is literally a big ass bag we got from a candy store on the coast a couple of years ago. Like it's just a mad like most of the bags are like massive reusable fabric bags. They're not like designated project bags. So I was like, okay, I know I want to get one big project bag. And when I went to go check out, the woman who made this bag was like, oh, you're gonna love that bag. It holds like a whole sweater. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And she pulled out hers, and she had literally like 6 cakes of yarn in this bag, and it was like maybe half full because of the bottom, because of the square bottom. It just allows you to hold so much. I am gonna be able to do so much with this bag. It's so big. I'm so excited. And it's got a really sturdy zipper, and I love the like bright purpley pink at the bottom, and it's just so cute. I love it. And I got to support a local maker, so yeah, that's by All Knit Up Designs, and I am 100% buying more from them later. And I actually did not buy that first. I actually, the very first thing I bought when I went to the festival, so when I went to the festival, the very first thing I did, so if you've been to a festival, you kind of know they're kind of the vendors are set up in rows, like around the edge of whatever, and then there's people in the center. And I do like a serpentine pattern when I go to festivals. I start at the outside and just kind of work my way through. So I see everybody, I stop in, I try and touch something. Most of the time, if I can, I try and buy something at almost every booth. Especially because this is a local festival for me, I really want us to support the local makers in my community. And I started following the Instagram for the festival, so I know what kind of makers are going to be there at the gate. And one of the ones that I found was called Wee Woolies, and they're a needle felting and wool business. And they make needle felted little sheep. Ah! That was a pretty face, but look at the little sheep. They're just little, oh my god. The little needle felted sheep. Oh my god. So I got two. I got one with a pumpkin for this season, and this is gonna go in my cubicle at work. It's gonna just kind of chill in my cubicle because it's a little festive fall sheepy. And then I got one in a deep teal, shocker, with a heart, and this is gonna live in my office at home, on a shelf, probably with my many other accoutrements that are above where I record, or maybe on my desk. I don't know. But they're little needle felted sheep, and they're the cutest little things ever. I love the little sheep that this woman has. I have to buy some, so I bought two. And they're just so cute. There's a little pumpkin and a little heart, and I love them so much. They are adorable. And I'm gonna try and put them over here because they're so cute. There you go. You can see the little sheepies. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Oh, it's so cute. But yeah, so that was the first booth I ever went into, was the Wee Woolies booth, because I wanted those little sheep so badly. I did also like buy stickers everywhere I possibly could. So this is the Wee Woolies sticker, and it's actually one of their sheep. I'm blanking on the name of this sheep, but one of their Romney's sheep is actually the logo, and it's so cute. And this will be going on my yarn water bottle. The big one I keep is not my yarn water bottle. I have a slightly smaller one that's just covered in yarn stuff. And then I actually went to another booth and bought only stickers. Because that's all they were really selling was stickers and a couple project bags. I'm totally blanking on the company name. They'll be linked below. But so I got this one, says flock around and find out. And then a little frog with some yarn, which is totally fitting for me because my family nickname is Toady. So frogs and purple yarn, hello. And then a rainy yarn sheep, which is perfect for the Pacific Northwest. Absolutely love that. And then a crab holding a skein, because I love crabs, because I love the coast and I love Oregon, and yeah. A crab holding a skein is perfect. So got those, and then I don't know if you're gonna be able to see these very well. I stumbled across a little stitch marker and notion maker called Hap B Creative Studios, and I got a pack of her. Come on, don't see me, just see these. It's really hard to see. They're clear acrylic progress keepers that are little sheep faces. So it's kind of hard to see. They'll be linked down below and everything. Her shop will be below. But she does the circular claws, which I thought was fantastic. That's circle claw. And it's not gonna show you. There we go. So you can stick it on as a circle, and it's not gonna damage anything. And like, this woman was meticulous. Like, I was looking in her booth, and she came over to me and was explaining that she like feels every single marker and every little bit of like attachment stuff, and she feels everything to make sure there's no like nothing's gonna catch your yarn. There's no freaking way it's gonna ruin anything. And she's meticulous as all hell. And I was like, I am 100% getting something from you because I appreciate that greatly as a maker. I greatly appreciate that. So those are the only stitch markers I intentionally bought. Oh, I forgot to mention when I got stickers, I also got a free little pumpkin marker. If it'll, oh, wrong way. It's a little tiny pumpkin, which is adorable. And then I went into another booth and got a whole bunch of yarn, but the little package the lady gave me also came with a little rainbow flower marker. I think, and this is the last non-yarny thing, I got a new Notion tin, and the company that makes these is called Ginger Snapped Crafts, so gingersnappedcrafts.com. She had a bunch of tins, and this is, I think, my favorite part. 3D printed organizing, like, inserts. Like, if I can even get it out again. It's literally, like, really good printing. Does not like to come out. It's literally a little organizer. I think this was like an extra $2 or $3. They even put things on the inside, so it's really pretty. So it's the rainbow sheet piece on the front, and then the rainbow on the inside, and I got a teal, of course, insert for mine. Look at that. It's just perfection. So I can literally just put my freaking stitch markers in there, and it's just like, this little section is big enough for my fold down, or my collapsible scissors. Like, I love this so much. It is beautiful. This is such a good size. I'm definitely going to be utilizing this and I might buy more of these, honestly, because I just absolutely love the entire insert thing. It's so great. I love it so much. So yeah, so those are the non-yarny things that I was able to get. I love me some non-yarny things. And this was the little package that I got from Always Be Kind Yarn, and I bought yarn from her, and I'll show it to you here in a second. But I put all the business cards, and she gave me this little packet because I got a bunch of her mystery kits, which I'll show you in a second. And so it's got like a sticker and a little pen and then a little notebook in it and everything. But all the business cards I got are in here as well. So all of the businesses will be linked below if you would like to look at their shops. Okay. So now for the yarny stuff. So, there's a lot of yarn. It's a lot of yarn. And there will be some crinkling. I apologize. I'm really sorry. So first, initially when I went into the festival, I came across Always Be Kind's booth, and she had a bunch of like mystery bags. I initially didn't buy anything when I went through her booth the first time. Just because I wasn't sure if I really wanted to. Like, I definitely had my eye on some mystery on the mystery bag, because like I don't do that very often. So after we walked the entire floor, I was like, okay, we're gonna go back to this couple of places that I really want to get something if I didn't already. So Always Be Kind yarn was one of them, and I got 2 of her mystery bags. One was sock yarn minis, because like I said, I was on a search for minis. And I apologize for crinkles. So somehow, and my husband 100% says that this is my universe luck. So for context, I have really crappy luck when it comes to things like gambling. But when it comes to stuff in the universe, I have some pretty good freaking luck. Like good parking spots, and the most recent one, being able to find a new place to stay for our vacation when the other one was canceled due to construction, for literally the same price within like half an hour of where we want to be. So, yeah, serious universal luck. Look at these. Look at these. Like, so these are the mystery. This was the mystery. Like, these are my colors. These are a color I'm trying to branch into and like trying to fill my stash because I don't have many. Like, these are perfection. These are absolute freaking perfection. Like, they're great. Like, my whole goal with minis was to find things that were like gonna branch out, like give me more colors for minis so I have more things to do for contrast heels and stuff. And hello. So my plan is I'm gonna use this one for my country road socks. Like, talk about a contrast. That's a serious contrast. But it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun. I'm so excited. Like, I went through a whole bunch of my minis. I have a couple mini sets that are planned for like shawls and stuff. But I went through those and I was like, oh, maybe I want to do like a red or something, but I didn't have the right color, like shade of red. I contemplated like buying from someone. I'm like, wait a minute, let's really think outside the box here. Boom. So we're gonna do a teal heel with this like orangey red and gray, and it's gonna pop so hard and it's gonna be fucking great. I'm so excited. And now that I've shown these to you, I can put them into my my minis bag. I found one of my organza bags, and oh yeah, other thing, random. I changed my yarn organizers. I officially removed all of the bulky weight and heavier weights from the organizer so that I can, because I knew after this haul I was going to need to be able to split my indie dyed into 2-ply and 4-ply. So I did. So now all my organizers are literally just fingering DK and worsted. Like, the very bottom row is worsted. There's not a whole lot of it. So it's just 2, 2, and 2. And I'm really happy with how it looks now. Like, it's more spread out. I have more space. Nothing's on top anymore. But in doing that, I actually found not only one of my organza bags, but I found a like a random mini box that I got from, I think it was Red Truck Yarns, I think. But he was doing this thing where he had a whole bunch of minis that were like from color testing and whatnot. He was like, you just have to pay shipping, and I'll send you the link, like contact me, I'll send you the link, and you can get some of these before they're gone. So I did that months ago, and I totally forgot about them. And so I found the box, and these two are sock weight, and this one is a worsted weight, I believe. So I now have these, which are the start of my rando minis bag, is what I'm calling this. So if I have a random mini, it's gonna go in here, and it'll just be available for heels, toes, and cuffs. I was a little bit bummed I didn't find this before I made my Sanderson socks, because this green would have been perfect, and then I would have been using a 4-ply instead of a 2-ply. But whatever, it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. But I'm not adding those to my stash. I'm not, because it's really, I don't know what base they are, so it's hard to add them. But yeah, so I got all of these, and I'm so excited because now I can put these into my minis bag. I'm also going to try and convince my husband to do this as his heel color for his black and white socks. And I'm like, how would you feel about orange? Like a traffic cone. But we shall see. So those are going into the minis bag, and he will be able to pick from the minis. So I'm happy with those. I'm really, like, again, my luck in general just got me. And then it really got me with this one. So again, Always Be Kind Yarn had mystery bags, a lot of them, and I apologize for crinkles. This was the biggest one she had. It is 3 full skeins for $60. And it's cashmere, merino, and silk. I don't own anything with silk. I have a couple things that are cashmere and merino, sure, but I have never owned silk. And so the owner, I went to the checkout line, and she actually asked me to open this one in front of her because she apparently culled these from her deep business stash that she just kept for herself. And she was like, it was painful for me to like let these go. So I need you to open this in front of me. So I know that it's going to a good home. So I did. And let me tell you, they didn't disappoint. They did not disappoint. It's white, gray, and blue. It's literally my colors. Like, I was insanely happy when I opened it. Again, my luck. It's my colors. It's not ugly. It's so soft and shiny because of that silk. Like, I want to make a top or a sweater of some sort with these. There's no way I can't. Like, they're beautiful, and I'm so excited to use them, and I can't wait. They're just so pretty. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's Cashmerino Silk Sock from Always Be Kind Yarns, and it's one of a kind color. The color is one of a kind. There is no, like, no other. There's just 3 of them, just the 3, and I got them. Somehow I got them. So, I'm extremely happy about that. She was really happy that I got these and that I love them, and that's why she gave me the little booklet thing that she normally puts in a bag. She asked me, like, do you want a bag? I'm like, no, I'm okay, I got plenty of bags. And she was like, well, what about the thing inside the bag? I'm like, okay, I'll take that. And she was just the nicest lady ever. I'm blanking on her name at the moment, but her shop will be below. But this was beautiful. I'm extremely excited about that. And then I got 2 skeins from a company called Wonderland Dye Works. I got this one, which is called Kelp Forest. It's teal, greens, and purples. Shocker. And then I got this one, which is going to become socks for my husband. This is called Glistening Rain. And it's blue and shades of gray. My husband and I have very similar color taste. Probably because blue and gray and black are like the colors he can see. Because if I haven't mentioned before, my husband's red-green colorblind, so he has a hard time seeing color. Red and green specifically. Christmas is really hard for him. But these are like the colors he can see, and he likes the feel of the base. It's a 80/20 merino and a superwash merino nylon on 2-ply. It's a 2-ply base. Which for some reason he interprets 2-ply as like more like rustic or like more hard wearing. I don't know why, but it does. So these will become socks for him. I don't know like if I'll do a contrast heel for these. I might, but we shall see. So these will be for my husband, hopefully knit up in the next couple months. Okay, and there again with crinkles, I apologize. So then I went over to another booth. I'm sorry for crinkles. And this was Teton Yarn Company. For context, there is a mountain range here in Oregon called the Tetons. There's actually a city that I used to live in that has a street named Teton, amongst other native street names. But so the Teton Yarn Company had this entire table that was just basically build your own bag of DIY minis bag. And they had a deal. It was like 6 of them for $45, which I think normally there were like, if you got 6 of them, it was $48. So you saved a little bit of money. So I built a bag of minis of a whole bunch of colors. I tried to get as like everything in every range of colors. I got 10 of them. So I got like a darker like black kind of color, and then like a really deep purple, a lighter purple, a hot bright pink, a light teal, a regular purple, a peachy pink, a light purple, and then a dark teal and light teal. I was trying to do like a dark and light of each kind of color and realm, so that these can go, and these are literally just minis for heels and if I want a pop of color. So this entire bag will go into the organza minis bag once I'm done with all this. And these are all 100% superwash merino, and they're 20 gram minis, and they look to be 4-ply. But that was a really hard booth to walk out of, because it's like, I want all the minis. Like, as someone who was aiming for minis, seeing a whole table of them, I was like, oh, I want to buy every single one of them, all like 100 of them. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I can't have 100 minis. That's too much. Next, I wandered into a booth called Hava Some Yarn, and I went crazy and bought 5 skeins of sock yarn. 5. I wanted more. One color in particular, I almost bought the entire lot, like entire stock, because it was so pretty. But I decided to just buy one, and if I love it that much after working with it, I will go to her shop and buy more. I have also placed an order with her since then for a mystery skein for October, which will be here in like the next couple weeks. I've made a lot of yard purchases this week. Not good. A lot of them are going to show up in the next few months. Two of them should show up next month, and then one is like a pre-order, has a really long lead time. Not going to be here till like February, which is fine. But so I wandered into Hava Some Yarn, and their label is literally Hava, Hava, Some Yarn, and the logo is the owner's 4 dogs. I'm blanking on what in the world the dogs' names are, because the dogs' names are fucking great. I'm blanking on the names. Oh, it's the dogs' names are literally Mushu, Zuko, Boomy, and Appa. That's what her dogs' names are. So if you are a millennial that knows anything about anything, you know what those names are from. And as a young millennial who grew up on Nickelodeon, I recognize all of those names. Like, Disney and Nickelodeon, like, that was my shit as a kid. So I immediately, when I went to her shop and I, like, online, I saw her base names, I lost my shit. So I inadvertently bought 5 skeins on her Mushu base. It's a 75% superwash merino wool, 25% recycled nylon, which is quite cool. And the first color I got is called Cranberry Mojito, and this is 100% going to be socks for my mother. You know this is not my color. You know this ain't for me. It's not for me. But that looks like cranberries. But yeah, so that's Cranberry Mojito. This will be for my mom. If I have enough yarn left over, I might try and make another pair of socks with it for my sister-in-law and or my grandmother, depending on how much yarn I have. All 3 of them have smaller feet than me, and my socks, if I don't do a contrast heel, is typically around 70 grams in total. But if I do a contrast heel, toe, and cuff, I might be able to, because each of those is about 4 grams. So it's like 12 grams in one sock. So maybe, possibly, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to see. I'd have to see how much is left over after making a pair for my mom. But that's the initial intended recipient is my mother. These will become a Christmas gift for my mom, and these will likely be knit up in the next month. So this is one that I'm probably gonna cake up and like try and find a contrast for, and maybe work on while I'm on vacation. And then the next one I got is called Matriarch Star, and this is beautiful for one, and it's light purples and grays. So again, a very me color, but it's really subdued and very just kind of laid back. I don't know if this will become socks or maybe a shawl or a cowl or something like that. I feel like it might be a shawl. Like this might need to be a shawl of some sort. But I was drawn to it because it's purple, and purples and grays, and it's just so subdued and so just calming in the color palette, and I just loved it so much. I was like, you're coming home with me. And then the next one is, this is the one I almost bought her entire stock of. She had 3 skeins on the rack. I almost bought all 3 of them. Especially because in comparison to normal prices, her yarn's really cheap. Each skein was only $20. 20. So, and that might be because she's from Idaho, possibly. That might be why, but it was a fucking steal. A fucking steal. So I anticipate I will be going to her shop frequently. Also, like all the colors I got from her are like variegated, because I can't resist a variegated, but like her tonals were beautiful, and I wanted to buy a mini set of her tonals, but it sold out. So I might like continue to check her shop and see if I can get some tonals from her. I totally anticipate myself, if I'll enjoy working with as much as I think I'm going to, I will likely just continue to buy like even tonals and stuff from her. But so this is called Kaleidospell, like kaleidoscope, but Kaleidospell. Look at that. It is so pretty. Teals and blues and purples and pinks and browns. It's literally a kaleidoscope, and it's gorgeous, and I almost bought her entire stock, but my husband talked me out of it. Thank goodness, because it's very easily, if I like it, I can go to her shop and buy more, because I think pretty sure she has it in her shop all the time. So this is one of her standard colors, I think. So if I want more of it after I work it, I can get more. And I really like her base a lot. Like, I know it's 75-25, but like, it's just nice. It's a nice base. I don't know who her supplier is, but it's really nice. And then I got, this one was from her. She was doing a like mini collection, like a Winnie the Pooh mini collection, and I grew up on Winnie the Pooh. I love Winnie the Pooh. But this one is called Eeyore's Tale, and it's shades of green, which is really weird for me. It's shades of green and orange, and then there's this purple in the back. But then there's like the color of Eeyore, and it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, it caught my eye, and the combo of the green, the purple, the gray, and the brown, just, it really got me. It really captured my eye, and I was like, I have to have that because that's so pretty. So that is Eeyore's Tale. And then the last one I got from her is called Lake of Shining Waters. And this is, again, very me in color. It's teal, gray, and purple. It's teal and purple grays. So this was, again, was one of those, this is your palette calling to me. So I had to have it. I had to have it because it was so pretty. This is like, all of these yarns is why I had to rearrange my storage, because all of these indie dyed yarns were not going to fit in the indie dyed box anymore, because I needed to split them. Like my non-commercial skeins are literally like have there are 3 rows for just fingering weight yarn in my 6 rows. So I needed to be able to split them between 2-ply and 4-ply. Otherwise I was gonna be totally screwed. But yeah, so that is the 5 skeins that I got from Have Us Some Yarn, and I have a mystery skein from her on the way. And then the last, this was not something I bought at the festival. This was after the festival. It just arrived before recording. That's why it's included in this. So I mentioned her before. I follow, and like, it's become like my background podcast that I watch while I'm knitting. Lisa of Knit All the Yarn podcast. I love her podcast. She is a very avid lover of the yarn brand Freckled Whimsy, and I apologize for wrinkles. So I have been wanting to buy from Freckled Whimsy, but I wasn't a big fan of any of the colors she had in her shop until I saw this, and it's actually an oopsie. She was making her like astrology colors. She's doing a color for the astrological signs for each month, and apparently she messed up when she was making a batch of the Pisces colorway, and instead of there being a brick colored stripe, she ended up making it black. So she just released it and has called it Brick Not Black. And it's the Pisces Oopsie. And this is a self-striping. This is my first ever non-commercial self-striping skein. And I love the mini that comes with it. It's beautiful. To me and teal, I swear to God. But just the colors of this are gorgeous. It's just so pretty. And I can't, like, these are going to be great stripy socks. And she also does this thing where if you get a sock set, she does a 25 gram mini instead of a 20 gram, so that you can really get heels, toes, and cuffs if you choose out of the mini. She gives you enough yardage so that you can get that, which is so freaking cool. So yeah, so this is on her Serendipity base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's 4-ply, and then the 100 gram skein, and then 25 gram mini. Oops, that's going on. So that was the very last thing that came in my stash. That's the last thing. I forgot that's what we were talking about. Oh my god. Okay. The numbers were not good this month. Not good. They were really not good. At all. So I knit out, or in terms of yardage out, or grams out, 359 grams. Between all those finished objects, only 359 grams went out. And then 3,067 grams came in. Safe to say, after the couple of purchases I made in the last week or week and a half, and anything that comes from Christmas, no more yarn for the rest of the year. And like nothing until like my birthday, maybe. Like I might start doing like a have some yarn monthly, maybe, if I like the October color. I might. I am contemplating doing a Freckled Whimsy club, maybe. But that's really dependent upon how my knitting goes in the next few months, and I'm gonna try really, really hard not to buy anything else, because between my birthday and this, it's a lot of yarn. And so in total, I am positive 2,708 grams for the month. Ouch. Fucking ouch. I think if I recall correctly, my my Ravelry stash now has 240 entries. Oof. 240. I added 14 entries between all of this. 14 entries. That was a lot. That's too much. Not doing very good with reducing the stash, I guess. Although a lot will come out. I know that like I'll end the year hopefully in a good spot, because hopefully that blanket will be done, and that's worsted weight yarns. That's a lot of grams. So I'm really hoping that will take some grams out when it's done. Not next month, probably December. I'm trying to like I feel like I did pretty good with kind of hitting the things I felt I was missing. So I'm really hopeful that I will not buy anything else unless it's like a mystery thing or like self-striping. Oh, that was the other thing I want to talk about. Fucking Knit Picks came out with new Felici colors. I have not bought them. Oh my god, I have not bought them. They came out with 7, 8 new colors. And they kept 2 or 3 from the previous batch. Like they kept Silent Night, they kept the Lisa color, and I think that was it. They just kept the Lisa and the Silent Film color, and then they got all these other new colors. A couple or a lot of them are clearly inspired by Wicked. Like there's one called Popular, and it's all pink. I can't remember what the other one's called. It's like all greens. But I did add the value pack to my Christmas list. So I might get those for Christmas. I don't know. The reason, in case you were wondering why I say specifically the value pack, even though it includes the colors I already have, the reason for that is because you didn't know this, when you order a value pack of Felici from Knitpicks, you get mystery skeins with it. You get a mystery that was some color that was never released or some color they couldn't get rid of. So like I think I showed them to you like in April when I got all of mine. I got 2 really random freaking mystery skeins. I love that because I can remove some amount, or I can like use those along with something else and make a stripy cowl, and then I have that random color to put into my stripy blanket. Like that's the reasoning that I want the value pack, is because I get those extra colors, I get all those colors, and then on top of that I also get that mystery skein that I can add to the blanket. Because I want as many stripy colors as possible. Like I want to put as many colors as possible. Because I want to do it as like I want to do the jelly roll. I always do a slightly larger. Like I don't do the 20 or 30 stitches or whatever. I always do more than that, just because I don't want the stripes to be that thick. I want them kind of smaller so I can get more stripes. But I really want as many stripes as possible. Like I want a whole bunch of stripes. I want to have a big ass bag of all the stripies, so I can make that blanket as soon as possible. Granted, that means I have to knit all the Felici that I've already got. And I don't think I've told you guys. I'm pretty sure I did this since the last episode. I went through, for context, I have my standard sock pattern in my Ravelry queue, and I have every single yarn I want to make socks on that one thing in my queue. I don't remove things from the queue. I just start a new project from it and remove all the extra yarns and save the one I'm going to keep. So I have a project for every pair of socks I make. But I went through and determined a skein of Felici, or a color of Felici, that I want to knit every month for the next year. So that's how I end up with Country Roads for November. And then I've got like the Buddy color, which is the Christmassy colors, for December, obviously, and so on and so forth. So the first of every month, I will make a pair of Felici socks in the color I selected for that month. So I can get through the majority of the ones I currently have in a year, because there were 15 colors and I'm doing 1 per month, and then like my husband wants the silent film color, so it's like I'm already going to be removing 13 of the 15 colors from my stash within a year. So it's okay for me to put the new Felici colors into like on my wish list, because if I get those, then it's like, okay, cool, that's more socks I can make, that's more colors I can add to my collection for the blanket. So, and I'm hoping that I don't have to do this for very long. Like I'm hoping that I can, like, especially because I've also got all those Patons colors, and like there's colors from Patons I still want to get in probably 6 months or so. Like maybe next summer I might get them, maybe. But like there's Patons colors that I want to get that are stripy that I want to put into it. So there are stripy colors like I totally plan on putting this into that blanket as well, because it's stripy. If it is a self-striping yarn, it is going in that blanket, regardless of what kind of base it is. Although I'm pretty sure most of them are the same kind of base. They're all like 75 to 80% wool, which is what I want. So stripy stuff is going into that collection, and I'll make a blanket, hopefully. Like I would love this time next year to be working on that. I really would. That'd make me super happy. So that I can like actually like get the scraps out. That's another thing I've been doing. I've kind of been, I realized that I never really kept my scraps when I was mostly a crocheter, and before I moved into this house I didn't really keep my scraps, or like my classification of scraps was different than most people's. Shocker. Shocker. I didn't consider like partial skeins to be scraps. They were just a partial. Like if I had enough I would just use it. I didn't like put it in a special place until it was like this much, until it was a tiny little amount. So, but I never kept those very long. I would typically like toss them, because at the time as a crocheter I could only afford to be working with only acrylic, because you need a lot of yarn. You need like 30 to 40% more yarn for a crochet project versus a knit project. So I had a fuck ton of all these different colors, and I would use up as much as possible, and I typically wouldn't keep whatever remained unless I was doing something with it, but I typically didn't because I wasn't much of a scrappy maker. But I started keeping like plastic bags of like all of my scraps now, and I have 2 different bags that are specifically for sock yarn. Like one if it's over 15 grams of left, and then one if it's under 15 grams. So there's a bag that's the under 15 grams of just a fuck ton of all these itty bitty little bits. And that's another thing I want to do is thanks to Lisa from Nail the Yarn podcast, she does the thing where she does a magic knot ball, and then does a like holds it with a stand like plain or gray or whatever, and I think it's the Cozy Comfort Throw. I think it's just a garter stitch blanket, and you hold. She literally holds a standard color, and then the magic knot ball that she makes from all of her scraps, and just does that. And that's another blanket that I want to do, but I need more scraps to do that. So I have a bag going of less than 15 grams, and anything over 15 grams I can make scrappy projects like cowls and hats and stuff with, or if I need a pop of color I can throw that in there. Yeah, I'm really hoping that because I was a bit more intentional with the color choices and whatnot throughout the year this year, that it'll be easier for me to, and because I queued a fuck ton of stuff with the yarn assigned to it, I did that too this year, so I'm really hoping that that'll help me to get through things so that like I actually have like blank spaces when my birthday comes in April, so that I'm not overflowing. Like I would really love I would really like it on my birthday to have like not have 200 plus entries in my yarn stash on Ravelry. Like I really like for my like available not for sale section to be less than 200 entries. I really like that. Okay, but time for weight, anxiety, life stuff. So content warning, talking about weight loss and anxiety. If that's not your jam, see ya, no big deal. The big update is that the Phentermine is working. My appetite is significantly decreased. I'm not overeating nearly as much, oh my lord. I am able to go much longer stretches before I'm like, oh, I actually need to eat something. Like typically my indicator for I need to eat is I start to feel woozy, or like my head gets a little swimmy and I get really irritable. Like when I notice I'm getting really irritable and my head is swimming, I'm like, okay, it's been too long, I need to eat something. My portion sizes are also getting a lot smaller, and so much so that, for context, I saw the doctor on September 5th, and I was 255 pounds. I re-weighed myself on the day I saw my nutritionist, which was the 15th of October, and I was down 7 pounds. So I'm officially under 250. I'm at 248 last time. I'm still doing a thing, per my nutritionist, of not weighing myself every day. I'm trying to weigh myself as little as possible. So I'm not weighing myself in the morning unless it's the day I'm supposed to talk to her. So the last weight I knew was 248 the morning that I saw her, and that was a up day. Like the lowest the week before that was 247. So it's dropping. It is going down. Guys, there's a really serious freaking possibility that I will be down to the 15-pound down mark by Christmas. It is a very real possibility, which is fantastic. I don't think it's really hit me yet that I'm that close. What has hit me was the most recent non-scale victory. I have officially left the plus size pants. At least in the brand that I wear. So for context, I only purchase Gloria Vanderbilt jeans. That is the only jean I wear. They are stretchy and fit a woman's body really well. I have like larger woman, I have larger thighs, larger calves. I love Gloria Vanderbilt jeans. They're so comfortable. I hate wearing jeans, but her brand's jeans are fabulous, and they're not super spendy at all. I buy them at Kohl's. Typically they're on sale for like $25 freaking dollars, or like half off most of the time. It's fucking fabulous. And I'm not in her plus size anymore. Per her size chart, my waist has reduced like 10 inches total. I can now wear her standard size 18, and I'm really close to going to her standard size 16. Um, for so like in terms of waist measurement, her standard 18 is about the same waist size as her 16W, which is her plus. So in term, like when I bought pants, I did buy a 16W, which is her plus size line, and 18 straight. They're like the same size in terms of waist circumference. And the reason I did that was because of color. They did not have the kind of the shade of the colors that I wanted in straight, so I went back to the plus and found one that was small enough. But yeah, if I won't, going forward with more loss, I won't be able to buy jeans the plus size anymore. I won't. So I'm no longer wearing, I'm not classified as wearing plus size jeans. My jeans now are in the standard women's section again, and I have not been a standard women's section since I was in high school. Like, I've been shopping in plus size since I was, for the last 10 to 12 years. So being able to going into the straight size section of Kohl's and buying jeans is strange. Also made me acutely aware that the plus size section for tops sucks in terms of variety. There are far cuter tops in the straight size section, which is really unfortunate and sucks. I am still classified as plus size, like 1 or 2X in at least what Kohl's carries. I'm still classified as like a 1 or 2X, I think 2X, in plus size tops, mostly because I have those wider shoulders and like a lot of fat still around my chest. And then obviously the lower belly is a hindrance. Like I have a smaller bust, but a larger stomach, so I have to accommodate the larger stomach. But that's getting easier with the smaller pants because the stomach just kind of gets hidden in the pants now. I'm really close to looking down and not seeing belly. Like it's almost just boobs, which is a big deal. It's being a smaller chested person. Bras are difficult, man. Bras are so difficult. Like my actual tissue does not require a really big cup, but because of the excess fat around my chest and around like my back, the like measurements say that I should be wearing like a double D, and it's like no, my tissue is not a double D by any means. So it's like that doesn't make any sense. I recently bought new bras to wear for my anniversary dinner, and I'm really curious. Like I had to buy sister sizes. Like according to my measurements, I should be a 42 double D. Fuck no. Like I bought that size just to get it out of my system. Just be like, I don't have the tissue for a double D, but I also bought a 34 or 36. I think it might have been 36C, which is the band size of 42, but the cup size needed, which I think will actually fit my tissue. We shall see. Sister sizes are a wonderful thing. So we'll see if either of those fit. Hopefully one of them does. I'll just return the other one. That was another thing, like my bra size has gone down. Like I think I used to be like 46 inches around, 48 at my full bust, and 48 to 50 in my full bust, and no, my full bust used to be like 52. Yeah, when I would make sweaters, my full bust was like 52 inches, and now it's 47. So my full bust has gone down 5 inches in the last year and a half, which is pretty good. I'm not worried about it coming from my tissue. I know it's not coming from the breast tissue. It's coming from everything around it. It's coming from my actual back and like under my chest. I know it's coming from that. So I'm not worried about losing my breast tissue. There wasn't much to begin with. I'm really not worried about it. So yeah, that's the weight loss update. Things are going good. The medication is really helping. I think it's kind of accumulating in my system a bit, so I'm definitely feeling the insomnia symptom. But I'm continuing to try and mitigate that by going to bed as early as possible, taking the gummy as early as possible, really trying to keep the stress down, which leads kind of into the anxiety and life stress stuff. My anxiety's been really low. Like, I'm feeling a lot better about my new position and everything. It's just that it's kind of getting stressful right now because we're getting to the end of the year. I have a lot of PTO I have to use, so I'm gone a lot. Like, today I'm recording. Oh, I totally forgot to tell you what day it is. It's October 25th. It's October 25th. I totally forgot that part. So I actually took yesterday, and I'm taking Monday off, and then literally gonna be gone the first whole week of November. So I'm having to deal with that, and like I was gone last Friday, like all of last Friday, and I came back to work Monday and was drowning because there was so much between my company and the company I also do invoicing for that I was going the whole freaking day. I think I literally logged on almost an hour early and was going for 6 straight hours with no breaks. I took my 1 hour lunch and then was going again for 2 hours and then logged off because I can't do overtime. But it was just, and I was not caught up. I spent all of last week just feeling like I could not catch up until literally Thursday afternoon before I was going to be gone for 2 work days. So, like, I already know that next week is going to be really nuts because I'm only working 3.5 days that next week. And then I had to really stress my boss this week that I need to know now who is going to be covering me the entire week I'm gone, because me not being there for a week to enter these invoices is essentially just like when we went live and didn't process any invoices for a week and a half. So it's like, if they don't get someone to handle them while I'm gone, or at least the bulk of them while I'm gone, I'm going to be behind for 2 weeks. When we went into this new system, we did not process any invoices for a week and a half. It took me 2.5 weeks to get caught up. 2.5 weeks. And that was 8 hours every day for 2.5 weeks. Just go. Enter. And took that long to catch up and be in a decent spot. So I don't want to deal with that. I don't want that. Like, that's also not going to help with like month closing numbers and stuff. So I'm really hoping that we can get someone from one of the other companies to handle everything for both my company and the sister company I do stuff for, so that we can get stuff done. Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So I'm really hoping that that'll be done. That'll be okay. So my stress is a little high at the moment. The stress of like going on vacation. I have a lot of vacation days I have to burn for the year, so there's going to be a lot of like, I don't hate the job itself. Like, doing like the actual thing I'm doing is not that stressful. It's just the quantity of work to be done. Like, when things are picking up right now. Like, business is picking up. Like, we're I think that might be why I'm kind of stressed out, is because there's a lot of business, and if I don't get the invoices entered, the customer service team cannot bill people, so we can't make money. So it's like, I am the stopping point. I am the bottleneck. So if I don't get it done, they can't do their job, and then people are asking them, well, why isn't this done? Like, well, because I haven't gotten the invoice yet. I haven't gotten it from accounting. So I'm trying to just focus on that and trying not to lose my marbles. And it also, like, kind of doesn't help that the system lags. Like, the system has problems. There's a lot of things that were not configured right still. Like, we still can't, like, automatically send payments. Like, we can't issue checks still. We had to manually create and issue every payment. We had to manually create every freaking check payment. It's a nightmare. Like, and we're 3 months into using the system, we still can't do that. I'm the one who manages the accounts payable box, so I'm the one that gets all the emails from suppliers who are like, where's my money? And I have to tell them, like, it's been sent, it's just taking forever because we had to manually do it, and like, you'll see it in a few days, here's a remittance and all that stuff. So it's just a little odd, or not odd, it's just, it makes my efficiency loving brain really unhappy, when things are not efficient, when things are not set up properly. It makes my efficiency brain very unhappy. So I think that might be what I'm struggling with, is that the inefficiency of things. Things are getting a little better in regards to like how I do things, just because I finally have access to one of the 2 inboxes from our sister company that I do stuff with. So I don't have to wait for them to send me the majority of the invoices that they get in a day. Like, I have access to the majority of them right off the bat. So like the first thing I do when I log in is I literally go into their inbox and pull everything. And I try and post those immediately. Like within the first hour and a half, I try and pull and post everything that they've gotten overnight, so that I don't have to worry about their stuff for the majority of the day, especially because they're 3 hours ahead of me. So I want to make sure that I take care of them first, because they're ahead of me, because time zones. And that seems to be working. Like having access to that inbox is making things easier. Because then if there's something wrong with it, I can just send it to their team from the inbox. I don't have to send it from my own or something. So that's helpful. Husband's job is a little stressful. He's struggling right now. It's not fun. He's not doing any of the fun robot-y programming stuff. He's doing a lot of the data entry, managing of stuff, and that doesn't work with his ADHD. His brain does not like that stuff. His brain is not meant for data entry, and it's like all he's doing right now. And I know it's because of the system change. So a big half of his job he's not liking right now. He's really not. So I'm trying to be as supportive as possible and just remind him, like, it's only the first year. It's only because you don't know things. There's a lot of things that aren't worked out in the system. There's a lot of bugs. It's not your fault. You've done as best you can, and I'm just trying to be really supportive and be an ear where I can. What else? Our 7-year wedding anniversary is next week. Not next week, the week after. Yeah. And it's this year, this anniversary has a lot of extra meaning for us this year. Early this year, we were like on the brink of divorce, and after a few months in couples therapy and a lot more communication, things have gotten them a lot better. Things have improved a lot. We do still have a habit of protecting each other when it comes to like being honest. It's really funny. Both of us come from environments where it wasn't safe to be yourself, like in its entirety. Like both of us were very criticized and carry a lot of trauma from trying to be ourselves as children. Yeah, like both of us carry a lot of trauma, and like I've been in therapy for almost 5 years, so I can better identify it now. And it's definitely easier for me to process the emotions and whatnot, and he's working on that. I fully came to recognize that like the things that worked for me may not work for him. So I've been trying to encourage him more and more, like, you need to work through this, but I'm not equipped. I do not have the tools. I did not have the same life experiences. I don't know how to help you right now. All I can do is tell you I love you and support you, and that's about it. Like, I will do whatever you need me to do in order to feel better in this moment, but ultimately you have to work through this with your therapist, because I can't do it. I don't know how. I don't have the tools necessary to help you. You need to speak to a professional. For him, it's different though. For him, he's got a lot he needs to unpack. A lot. And I'm not equipped for that. I don't know how to help him in that regard. So I just encourage him to talk to this person. Yeah. So things have gotten a lot better. We're not on the brink of divorce anymore, which is really nice. Which is really funny, because like there's that whole adage of like the 7-year itch or whatever, like you're married for 7 years and get the itch to like things are just awful, or like you start disliking your partner or some shit, whatever in the hell the 7-year itch is. And it's like I don't know if we necessarily got it in this typical sense, because we don't do things like typical people. Either way, things with the marriage are a lot better, and we're communicating a lot more, and things are just in general a lot better, and we're creating those safe environments for the other to be completely honest and just be like creating the safe spaces so that we can process things and do what we need to do to get things through and do what we need to. Like, really great example. My husband is so supportive that when I literally 2 weeks ago was actively having an anxiety attack in the morning before we were going to go do something. I think it was literally hot pot morning. It was our hot pot day, and I woke up and started having anxiety attack because of things that are a bit too personal. I just started having anxiety attack about something that's a common issue in our marriage, and in our relationship. And rather than just keep it to myself, I actually said something to him. Like, I was sitting up in bed and he asked me if I was okay, and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm having this issue. I explained the issue, and I started like freaking out and was just like, I'm not a good partner. I'm a terrible wife. I can't do what you need me to do. I'm not good enough. And I started to majorly worthless spiral, and because that's a frequent thing for me is I will get in this spot where I, as my therapist calls it, I spiral, and I spiral down fucking fast. And I was just actively in the middle of this anxiety attack being like, I'm a worthless partner. And in the last year, we have grown, and I have grown so much that I was able to actively stop the spiral and tell that voice in my head that was telling me I'm awful and worthless. I was able to, thanks to my therapist tools, I was able to visualize that voice, tell her to fuck off. I don't have a name for her. My therapist told me to give her a name. I don't have one. She is just a screaming little scribble. Like, think of like toddler scribbles. That is what she is. A screaming little weird scribble. And she yells at me and yells these awful things at me. And I told her over and over again to fuck off. She's wrong. This is a safe space. I'm safe. He's not gonna, like, she loves to tell me he's gonna leave you. You're a terrible partner. You're gonna be alone. And I literally was like, fuck you. That's not gonna happen. If that was the case, he would have walked out a long fucking time ago. Like, it's been over almost 12 fucking years. He would have walked out a long ass time ago if he was actually going to leave. And I just kept telling her that over and over, like, you're wrong. This is safe. I'm safe. He is safe. And the whole time he's just sitting there just being like, you just letting me process, just giving me the space to process. And I screamed at that fucking scribble so much internally, obviously. Inside, I screamed at her so much, and she finally just flattened and shut the hell up. And I looked at him, and I'm crying profusely, as you do during an anxiety attack, and getting all choked up thinking about it. I'm just like, I did it. And I literally put my arms up. I'm like, I did it. I told the voice to shut the fuck up. I did it. I got the spiral to stop. And I was so fucking proud of myself. And it like, there was still like a little like echoes, but like I was able to stop it because it would have gotten so much worse. Like, it gets to a point when I'm spiraling sometimes where the voices are so loud that I can't hear myself. Like, I am trying to speak to myself and I cannot hear her. And they just get so loud that I want to like physically pound my head. Like, there have been anxiety attacks this year that I have been physically harming myself because I want it to stop so badly. I just want the voice to stop. And until like 6 months ago, I did not know how to do that. Not only did I completely verbalize what was bothering me in its entirety, no filters, no protecting his feelings, nothing, but I was actually able to squash the freaking anxiety scribble and tell her to fuck off and completely salvage the day. I was so proud of myself. I'm just like, this is what I'm capable of, and it felt really good to be able to say fuck you to that voice. So that's progress. That's extreme progress for the last year. And you add on the safety space and the communication increases and just everything in general. It's been a good year. It's been a hard year, a lot of growth for the two of us in terms of ourselves and our marriage, and this anniversary is a big fucking deal for us. Like, we were on the precipice of falling off, and we have brought it completely back, and we are both immensely proud of ourselves. And yeah, so that it's been that's really important. It's really good, and yay, no tears today. I think we've done good. This year has been good. The second half of the year, I should say, has been better. I have had a couple little bad thoughts pop up a time or two, but it's a lot easier to look at those and be like, nah, that's not real. That's not actually what I want. It's a lot easier to identify, like, that's just bullshit. That's bullshit. That's not what I actually want. So, which is really freaking great considering where I was earlier this year. It's really nice to be stable-ish. Stabler. It's really nice to be stabler. I'm not really going to the gym. I'm not really working out all that much. I'm not really using the walking pads. No, last month in terms of physical exercise has been kind of bleh. I'm trying to increase the movement and like cleaning stuff. Like, I'm trying to get in a habit of like cleaning my house a bit more because I have the energy to do that a bit now. So that allows me the opportunity to do things around the house that I don't normally get to do, or that I don't have the energy to do, or don't want to do. I'm actually able to like take some pride in my home and like actually start cleaning my home the way I want to and maintaining it. So like, I changed the HVAC air filter. I cleaned the top of my kitchen cabinets. Like, I started the process of cleaning my cabinets and like moving things around in my cabinets so I can actually use my cabinets effectively. And yeah, like, there's cleaning and organizational things. Like, I have a whole little whiteboard that's bite-sized cleaning stuff that I check off and put a date on so I know when I last did it. And like, and it's just like, I'm vacuuming now. Like, I feel a lot better. Like, I'm actually like a productive member of my household and society, and that's great. So, but I think that's pretty much everything I have. I've gone over all the yarn, all the stuff, all the weight loss, anxiety stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna end it here, guys. It's been a long ass recording. But this is the problem with doing it once a month, is that my recordings end up being like almost 2.5 hours, and I gotta cut that down in some regard, hopefully. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know which yarn did you enjoy. And I guess I'll see you guys in next month. I think the end of next month will be after Thanksgiving, after American Thanksgiving. So, hopefully lots of knitting will ensue in the next few weeks. Hopefully. We shall see. But until next month, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.